tranquil Sunday afternoon, the house was wrapped in a comforting stillness, the kind that invited introspection. Michael leaned against the kitchen counter, gazing out of the window as the golden sunlight streamed in, casting warm patterns across the floor. His wife had gone away for the weekend, leaving him and his stepson, Daniel, to enjoy an unusually quiet house. Please subscribe to my channel for more love stories. A breakfast lingered in the air, and the faint sound of music drifted from upstairs, where Daniel was likely immersed in his art. Michael poured himself a glass of iced tea, the cool liquid refreshing against the warmth of the day. He took a moment to breathe deeply, feeling a mix of contentment and restlessness. Daniel was 21, a young man full of contradictions, confident yet reserved. Over the years, their relationship had developed into a quiet bond, one marked by shared interests and understanding. But today, something felt different. The silence of the house stirred a restlessness within him, a longing for connection that he couldn't quite put into words. After finishing his chores, he decided to check on Daniel. As he climbed the stairs, he felt a flutter of anticipation mixed with curiosity. The soft strains of music grew louder as he approached Daniel's room, the door slightly ajar. He knocked gently, then entered. The initial connection. Daniel was seated on the floor, surrounded by canvases and paints, his brow furrowed in concentration as he worked on a vibrant piece. The sight of him, lost in his art, ignited something unexpected within Michael, a flicker of attraction that sent his heart racing. "Hey, can I join you?" Michael asked, leaning against the doorframe. Daniel looked up, his face lighting up with a smile that made Michael's chest tighten. "Of course, I could use some company," Daniel replied, gesturing to the space beside him. As Michael settled down on the floor, they began to talk about art and music, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Michael admired Daniel's passion, the way his eyes sparkled when he spoke about his work. It was infectious, and Michael found himself drawn in, savoring the moment. "Do you ever feel like there's more to life than just going through the motions?" Daniel asked suddenly, his gaze intense and searching. Michael felt the weight of the question. "Every day," he admitted, their eyes locking in an intimate moment. The air grew thick with unspoken tension, and Michael could feel his heart pounding in his chest, a mix of fear and excitement swirling within him. Building tension. As they spent more time together, the atmosphere became charged with an unacknowledged attraction. Moments of physical closeness became more frequent, accidental brushes of their hands, lingering gazes that spoke volumes. Michael found himself increasingly aware of Daniel's presence, the way his laughter filled the room with warmth and light. During one particularly animated discussion about music, Daniel leaned closer, his shoulder pressing against Michael's. The contact sent a jolt of electricity through Michael, and he fought to maintain his composure. He was captivated by the way Daniel's eyes danced with enthusiasm, and the way his lips curled into a smile that made Michael's heart race. "Can I show you something?" Daniel asked suddenly, standing up and motioning for Michael to follow him. He led Michael to the back porch, where the evening sun bathed everything in a golden hue. Daniel picked up a guitar that rested against the wall and began to strum a few chords. The sound was beautiful, and Michael felt a wave of admiration wash over him. As Daniel played, he watched the way his fingers danced over the strings, the focus etched on his face. It was in that moment, with the sun setting behind him, that Michael felt an overwhelming urge to reach out and pull Daniel close. "Wow, Daniel, that's amazing," Michael said, clapping as Daniel finished a song. "You have such talent." "Thanks. It's just something I love to do," Daniel replied, a hint of blush creeping onto his cheeks. "Music it's like a way to express what's inside." Michael nodded, feeling the weight of Daniel's words. "I get that. It's important to have something that speaks to your soul." Their eyes met, and Michael felt something shift within him. The moment felt suspended in time, the connection between them palpable. The first kiss. In a moment of courage, Michael reached out, tucking a loose strand of hair behind Daniel's ear. Their faces were mere inches apart, and the world around them faded away. "Daniel," he whispered, his voice barely audible, filled with emotion. Before he could finish, Daniel closed the distance, their lips meeting in a tentative kiss that quickly ignited into something more fervent. The kiss was electric, filled with a mix of desire and uncertainty. Michael's heart raced as he responded, surrendering to the warmth of Daniel's mouth against his. Pulling back slightly, Daniel looked at Michael with wide eyes, his breath coming in quick bursts. "I didn't know if you felt the same," he confessed, vulnerability shining in his eyes. "I do," Michael replied, his heart swelling with affection. "I've felt it for a long time." The sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a warm glow around them. They embraced again, the warmth of their bodies melding together as they surrendered to this newfound connection. The kiss deepened, their hands exploring each other's backs, pulling closer as if trying to fuse their bodies into one. Exploring their feelings. As they pulled away, both breathing heavily, they sat on the porch steps, their fingers intertwined. The air was thick with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, mingling with the intensity of the moment they had just shared. "Where do we go from here?" Daniel asked, his voice a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Michael took a deep breath, his mind racing with possibilities. "I don't know, but I want to explore this, whatever this is." Daniel nodded, a shy smile spreading across his face. "Me too. I've wanted this for a while, but I didn't know how to say it." "Neither did I," Michael admitted, feeling a mix of relief and exhilaration. "But now that we've crossed this line, I can't imagine going back." They spent the evening talking, sharing their hopes and fears, the bond between them growing stronger with each passing moment. Michael learned more about Daniel's dreams of becoming an artist, his struggles with self-doubt, and the pressure he felt to succeed. "I just want to create something meaningful," Daniel said, his eyes shining with passion. "Something that resonates with people." "You will," Michael reassured him. "You have a gift, Daniel. You just need to believe in yourself." As night fell, the stars twinkled above them, and the world outside their little bubble faded away. They shared stories, laughter, and even a few vulnerable moments. Each revelation drew them closer. The heat of passion. Their conversations gradually shifted from dreams to desires. The air between them crackled with tension, and Michael could feel the heat radiating off Daniel's body. As they sat together, the distance between them vanished completely. Michael leaned in closer, his heart racing. "Daniel, can I kiss you again?" he asked, his voice low and filled with longing. Daniel's eyes sparkled with mischief. "You don't have to ask," he replied, leaning in, their lips crashing together once more. This time, the kiss was filled with fervor, passion igniting as they explored each other with urgency. Michael's hands tangled in Daniel's hair, pulling him closer as their kisses deepened. The world around them disappeared, replaced by the intoxicating taste of each other. They shifted, Daniel straddling Michael's lap, their bodies pressed together as they lost themselves in each other. Michael could feel Daniel's warmth against him, his heart racing in sync with the heat building between them. It was intoxicating, the way Daniel pressed against him, their bodies moving in a rhythm only they could understand. "God, Daniel," Michael breathed between kisses, his hands tracing down Daniel's back. "You're incredible." Daniel pulled away slightly, a playful smile on his lips. "You're not so bad yourself," he teased, his breath mingling with Michael's. With a newfound boldness, Daniel leaned down, kissing along Michael's jawline, sending shivers down his spine. "I've wanted to do this for so long," he murmured, his voice low and sultry. "Me too," Michael confessed, his hands finding their way to Daniel's waist, pulling him closer. The intimacy felt electric, charged with a desire that had been building for years. Facing the outside world. As the night wore on, they lost track of time, wrapped in each other's arms. But reality soon crept in, and Michael felt a flicker of doubt. What would this mean for their relationship? How would they navigate the complexities of their newfound feelings? "Daniel," he said softly, pulling back to look into his eyes. "What happens now? We can't just ignore everything outside of this moment." Daniel's expression shifted from playful to serious. "I know, it's complicated, but I don't want to hide what we have," he replied, sincerity washing over his features. "I care about you, Michael, a lot." "I care about you too," Michael admitted, his heart aching with the weight of their situation. "But we need to be careful. This could change everything." Daniel nodded, his gaze steady. "I'm willing to take that risk if you are." They shared another kiss, one that felt like a promise. In that moment, Michael realized that love could come in many forms, and whatever this was between them was something worth embracing. They would face the challenges together, navigating the complexities of